I see many people who question why they feel depressed when they know they have a lot of privilege or everything in their life is going okay. This is because the real reason for depression is hidden from us. It is buried in the unconscious, currently too unbearable to be felt. The problem is that often, when some negative feelings are pushed down, other positive feelings get pushed down too. So we're left with an absence of feeling. Our mind numbs us so we don't feel the negative emotion, but it numbs us to everything else too, so we don't feel much joy or pleasure either. What does feel your feelings actually mean? You might have heard therapists, and most of the internet, telling you to feel your feelings. But what does this even mean? What do you do with feelings if not feel them? Feelings are energy in the body. Anyone remember the golden rule of physics from school? Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transferred from one form or place to another. E-motion equals energy in motion. An emotion or a feeling is simply the experience of energy moving through the body. For example, when we feel excited, we might get butterflies in our stomach. When we feel afraid, our throat might constrict and our heart might beat faster. Sadness feels like heaviness and tears. Anger makes us hot and red and alert. Ever have a big cry and feel exhausted afterwards? That's because of all the energy that's been expended in having the feeling. So what happens when we try to keep our feelings in? Even more energy is needed to squash them all down. Think about all those feelings as energy that is trying to come up, thrashing, squirming, jumping, exploding, wanting desperately to be set free. To keep this energy in requires a lot of effort, as if you're continuously pushing down on a box filled with forces that are pushing upwards. You're going to be pretty damn tired after that. Repressing our feelings uses up an enormous amount of energy, which can cause depression due to the energy lost in pushing them all down for so many years. Depression isn't only about numbness, though. It's also about physical exhaustion and low motivation. A good metaphor for this is imagining pushing on both the brakes and the accelerator of a car at the same time. The car might not go anywhere, but you're still going to use a lot of petrol. Without even realizing it, we do the exact same thing when we bottle up our emotions, which leaves us exhausted, numb, and low in mood. This is where therapy, or a good healing practice, helps us to bear what feels unbearable, so we can stop numbing ourselves and allow that feeling in. When we can start to process these feelings, the energy used up to repress them is released and the depression can start to lift. How do you feel your feelings? Some feelings we know we're pushing away, like when we feel a sensation of discomfort, so we go for the glass of wine, knowing it will quiet that upsetting thought. Other feelings are so buried away that we don't register we're having them at all. There are many ways to connect to your deeper feelings. Here are 3 practical things you can do. Number 1, connect to your body. To get to both the more surface level and the deeper feelings, we have to listen to our body. Feelings are just physical sensations, remember? To tune into your feeling is to tune into your body. In the therapy room, I ask my patients often what they're feeling in their body, whether there's any sensation of discomfort. Some people feel nothing. Others feel their legs shaking, a knot of tension in their chest, or a thumping in their head. I then ask them to give the feeling a shape or color. Are there any associations that come up? Does it have an image that goes with it? A word? Does it link to a memory? When was the earliest time in their life they had this feeling? You can do this for yourself. It's known as free association. How does your body feel right now? If you struggle to connect, give yourself a second to check in with yourself. Your body will tell you how it feels. You just need to give it the space. Free association. Free association is a common psychoanalytic technique that can be used to get in touch with the unconscious by allowing a person to express thoughts, feelings, and memories without censoring or judging. When you allow the mind to wander without filtering, by verbalizing whatever comes into your mind without consciously analyzing, you give space for unconscious memories or emotions to come up. Associating and visualizing feelings in this way can be helpful in connecting them on a more physical level, exploring any early memories of those feelings that can help us understand why we might struggle with them. Number 2, journaling. Another way to connect to your feelings is by journaling. When you sit down with a pen and paper, it's important to let yourself write freely without censoring what you say. This will allow your true thoughts to come out. Writing without planning or screening what we say can allow our unconscious feelings to be exposed through our words. You might be surprised by what you read back. And finally, number 3, breathwork. Breathwork refers to breathing exercises and specific breathing techniques such as holotropic breathwork, which usually recommends a pattern of breathing fast that can help with emotional release. Holotropic breathwork was developed in the 1970s by Stanislav Grof, an expert in transpersonal psychology and consciousness research. It increases oxygen in the body, which can move stuck emotions and help to release stress, bringing the body back to a calm state. Stanislav's wife, Christina Grof, ran workshops where people would engage in the breathwork and have powerful emotional release, sobbing, screaming, banging on the floor. It might sound mad, but actually, the Grofs found that breathwork helps people to get out of their conscious mind, so suppressed thoughts and emotions can move towards the surface and be released. A meta-analysis of studies in 2023 supported Grof's observations, showing that breathwork can significantly improve stress and mental health. If you're trying breathwork for the first time, I would recommend seeking out a class or a coach who can introduce you to some of these exercises to ensure you feel safe throughout if any uncomfortable emotions arise. Often, people find when beginning this process of feeling their feelings properly that things seem to get a little worse before they get better. That's because to really heal, you have to go through all the painful emotions you have been avoiding. It's like taking those dirty clothes out of the cupboard and finally dealing with them. It might not be pleasant while you're doing it, but it's better than leaving them to grow moldy in the cupboard. You have to come to terms with parts of yourself you might not have wanted to accept. Being vulnerable is scary, especially if you've been taught it isn't safe. Be gentle with yourself and let whatever you're feeling come up. It's scary, but feelings don't last forever. They will move through you. You just have to let them.